Oh, hello. How you doing today? Rajesh Dazay, how you doing? I'm trying out a new feature here on YouTube. I don't know how long it's been on here. Hanfield Road, how you doing, Lee? And Lynn McCurdy, good to see you here. Oh my goodness, and Joe Rader. So only you guys get to chat, none of the trolls. There you go. All right. Well, I found this on here, and I figured I'd try it out. So only subscribers can go on here. Now, if you look up at the top, it says, the first time it says 10 minutes, and the second time it says it doesn't give a time on it. I think the default was 5 or 10 minutes. I played around with it and then drop it down to 0, but that's what I wanted to test out here. I wanted to see if it actually works. In fact, the guy that was on last night that everybody thought was a troll wasn't a troll. He's been on here before chatting, and his brother got a hold of the keyboard. So he sent me a message on one of my other videos saying that his brother's in trouble. It was a short wait. There you go. All right. So I just wanted to get on here and try this out. If anybody wants to chat about anything, put it in the chat. Layout looks Tom. Okay, there you go. All this is what I had left over from Schmedleyville on my other layout, and I just put the buildings up there. That's not where they're permanently going to be, but I just staged them there for the live streams, just so it may look like I was doing something. I'm not really doing anything. Over here, I moved out this rack. I moved it out, I guess, about 5 inches, so I could put my bracing up on the wall. This is my old layout. That part right there is I can't remember. Look at this sign right here. Okay, all right. Rockwood. Yeah, Rockwood. I was trying to think of Rock Creek, but that was at the other end. This one's Rockwood. Okay, so I got that's sitting up on the edge, but yeah, last week on Train of Thought, I said I was gonna put that stuff back over here, and over the weekend I moved everything out. I got the L girder sitting there, and I got another one on the floor right down there. You could probably see a couple of them there, along with my trash that I got to take out. It's been raining all day. We got soaking wet this morning when I took Debbie to the wound care. So, all right, and YouTube is never happy with the way I set things up. It says, my bit rate is too high right now. Okay, and I got it set to where, I normally had it for, when I've been doing it for the last 2 years, but now it says it's too high. Go figure. All right. I gotta get some water here. Are you going to have any room for a layout? I hope so. Let me stick this up here, see if this thing works. Yes. There you go. Yeah, see? Right there. See, once I get this, once I get that right there, that's part of the layout, but I'm going to cut it like about right there. I'm only going to use the straight section of it because you can see it comes and loops around and then goes back to where it goes back to where it started out from. So, and my other piece of layout is basically the same thing. It goes down and comes back around on itself. Those were, at the ends of my layout, and it just looped everything around instead of going around all the way around, for the full radius and coming back way out. I brought it back in close to the track so it wouldn't look so big. All right, we'll trade some heat for some moisture. 106 on 10% humidity here in the desert of California. Well, it's been pretty warm, except for this morning. It cooled off a little bit, and then we went in and got the dressing changed on Debbie and came out. It was pouring down rain, so we got soaked. But yes, I'm going to have room for the layout. This is 14. This is 14 feet right here, going back that way, and it's coming that way. As you can see back there, there's a computer sitting up on the edge of the module, and that's where I'm going to have, probably right there is going to be the beginning of a lift out to go over on the other. I'm all screwed up today, on the other side over here. But I got a piece of the L girder over there. It's sitting up on the top and ready to go. I just need to determine what level it is. Since the price of lumber is so high, I have to rethink, because I used 1/2-inch plywood here and 1x4s right here on all my framing, and then I put the 1-inch foam, but I put 2 layers of the 1-inch foam right here, just because of some of the models that I had. I needed more than 1 inch of separation between the track and the base, because I needed the water feature down 2 inches. So that's why I put 2 inches on there. But I noticed plywood is coming down. At one time, it was up to like $90. It's back down to about $70 for a 4x8 sheet. But I was thinking of just going either 1x2 right here for the framing, either 1x2 or 1x3. I can't use the select pine that I was using before, because a 1x3 by 8 foot is almost $10. So I'll go with the cheaper 1x3s. I think that was about $5, and go with maybe an 1/8 inch plywood here, or maybe even a 1/16 of an inch, because I got 1/16 of an inch up on the wall. Or is that 1/16 of an inch? Maybe maybe 3. I can't remember what it is. Okay, but anyway, it's pretty thin. It's real thin. It's 1/8 inch or something like that. But we got to cut down on how much we spend on the layout, because lumber is just too expensive. So I was thinking about putting on the other side over there, putting the thinner plywood, and then and then putting a layer of the foam up. Now, Lowe's doesn't have this. They have 3/4 inch with the film on it. I could only get this at Home Depot here anyway. So, Bernard C., how you doing? Good to see you here. But I think that's how I'm going to go, 1x2 or 1x3 on the bracing. And so I have to do some I got to get the calculator out, so I could, have it at this height with the thinner wood and everything thinner. So, where my L girder is on the other side is right at this level. Where is the L girder? Oh, this is tied into the L girder. So my L girder is at this height here, and it's like, I don't know. Here's a tape measure. But I'll have to put it up a little bit higher because of the smaller dimensions in the lumber. That's it. At this end, it's just under 45 inches, because the floor is sloped. I think down at the other end, it's like 45.5 inches. So down at that end, I'm going to have to start at about 45.5 inches and try to figure out without having to buy one of those levels that puts the beam across the wall to level it off, because I don't have an 8-foot long level to go all the way across. Brooke James, how you doing? All right, good to see you here. I'm just talking about layout, and I tried something. If you noticed up at the top of the chat, it says Tom's Trains and Things turned on subscriber only mode. I knew about the member only chat, but YouTube must have just started this because I seen the radio button up there along with the member only chat, and I think there was another option on it too, but I can't get into it. Hey, Kyle Stevens, how you doing? Let me see if I could edit it while I'm live. Hey, there you go. I can. All right. So, okay, so it's anyone can chat, anyone can send messages, subscribers or members only. Okay. And then you have the slow mode. All right. And you could even turn on live chat or turn on live chat replays, which is, I always have that on. So, but that's a new radio button that just showed up in there. Hey, Terry Adams, how you doing? Good to see you here. I don't know what I'm doing, So, I'm just playing around here. I'm doing fine. Or are you asking me or somebody else? But anyway, I was just talking about what I was planning on doing. I got to get the calculator out and calculate how high I have to come up, higher than this side, to compensate for the smaller lumber that I'm going to be using on the other side. And 1x2s probably be good. In fact, I have some frame up there 1x2 that I used on a riser on the back of my other layout, where I went from Smedleyville up to the top of Rock Creek. I had 2 tracks going up, and I used a 1x2 frame for that, and it worked pretty good. I'm not going to be standing on it or sitting on it, so I don't need some heavy lumber. My intention over here with the 1x4 was I had this in the living room as a module, and I'm still making it the same way, but I might have to adjust it a little bit because I wanted to put a shelf up there with some more tracks, another level. I'm not sure if I want to connect the 2 levels, but that's still an option. But I made these so I could pull it out just a little bit and then tilt the module up. I have 2. Well, this one's a little bit shorter than 6 foot right now because I had to cut a little bit off of it. But I had, this was 6 foot. I got another 6 foot one, and then I got a 5 foot one that comes out this way. That's the one that's sitting, that you could see right there. But I'm still going to keep it like that, where I could pull it out and lift it up if I have to do any wiring on the bottom, because even though I got one of them roll-away stools, and I'm not going to, it's right there, but I'm not going to try to lift it up. It's one of those work stools that have wheels on it, so you could roll around and get underneath the layout. But even with that, I'm still keeping the option to where I could lift it up and work underneath. Well, it makes life a lot easier, better on the back. Okay, Anfield, good to see you. Oh, where'd you go? Glad you stopped by. Tonight? Oh my God, is it nighttime there? Oh my goodness, holy moly. Use it if you got it, there you go. Materials are insane to purchase if you can't find it. Yes, they are. And that's why I've used every bit of lumber that I had. I wish I would have saved some more of the lumber from my last layout, but I ended up destroying some of it. But I saved enough. I still have some up in the ceiling up there, and I have all my short pieces going from probably about 6 inches all the way up to 3 foot in a tote, the real small pieces. And if you could see up there, those are my a little bit longer pieces. Those are I got some 2x2s, 1x2s, 1x3s, and a lot of 1x4s. So I got a lot of stuff. I'll check in on the project later. Okay, Brock, see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, there you go. But we're gonna have some fun with it whenever I can get the urge to get things going. Tomorrow we got 2 more hours at physical therapy for Debbie. They took off her vac today, so she doesn't have to go back until Friday. She just has a plain old dressing on it, and then she sees the doctor, and hopefully by then she won't have to have a dressing at all. So maybe things will get a little bit easier here. She still has 2 more weeks of 2 hours, 2 days a week of physical therapy before her insurance runs out on that. 2:04 p.m. here. Oh my God, what time is it here? It is after 5. Oh my goodness. All right. So it's early for you yet. Okay. All right. So what else do I have going on? Yeah. All right. So anyway, I recovered. I got a new external hard drive. This is a 5 terabyte. It only cost $100, which is really good because I had a 4 terabyte that was halfway filled up that I lost all my data on until I took it to the computer shop, and he put everything on here. So now I have all my old videos from 2019 and 2020 in that period from when I went to Steamtown all the way up to when right before I moved. It failed on me right before I moved, so I lost all those videos until now when I got the thing transferred over. Okay, you was just about to ask. Okay, thanks for the update. Sending hugs. Good deal. I'm sure Debbie appreciates that very much. She's in there watching television. We just had lunch a little while ago. We had a late lunch. So she was taking a nap, and after lunch, she's over there watching television and giving me a break for a little bit right now so I can do this here. Okay, so Lynn McCurdy stopped for late lunch Pacific here too. Yeah, all right. Yeah, but we don't eat lunch at 12 o'clock. We usually eat lunch about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock because we're not early risers. But even though, we had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning to get Debbie ready to go to the wound care, we didn't get to eat breakfast at McDonald's until about 9:30. And we were soaking wet. Stephanie Paul, how you doing? Missed last night's stream. Hey, that's okay. There's a replay of it there that you could always watch. And, sometimes this is what I don't get. On some channels, the replay, the chat on the replay is available within, a half an hour after, and that's the way it used to be. But now sometimes my chat replay isn't available for over 24 hours, and it doesn't show up in the replay, because if you uh, like, a lot of times what I used to do was, when we would get up in the morning, would sit down and eat breakfast. This was at the old place. Would sit and watch the television and turn on the channel and watch the replay to see, how it went. But it wouldn't show up for, and that was like 12 hours later. It didn't show up until the very next day, and I guess it's because of the chat. For some reason, they're slow at processing the chat on smaller channels. I mean, some of the bigger channels, that have 50, 100,000 subscribers, whenever they do a live stream, their chat goes up right away. But not here. Matt's Van Tessel. Okay, he says, long time watcher, listener, first time live. Tell Debbie I know how she feels. I'm watching from the hospital right now. Oh my goodness, Matt. Okay. Hope you're feeling better. What are you in the hospital for? Matt's Van Tassel. Good to see you dropping by. Yeah, Debbie was in the hospital for like 3 weeks, and then she went to the nursing home for rehab for 3 weeks, got an infection there, and ended up going back into the hospital again to have her wound cleaned out, and she was there for another 2 weeks. So she was in 3, 6, almost 2 months in between hospital and nursing home. So there you go. Uh-oh, Dan's Model Railroad Journey. You're supposed to be working right now? Good thing I'm working from home. Hey, that's a good way around it. All right, there you go. Ken Amos Jr., how you doing? Prayers for Matt. Yes, I hope you're feeling better, Matt. Hurry up and get out of that hospital. I know it can be pain. Whenever I was in, I was always in for some crazy stuff, and never in more than 3 or 4 days, and that drove me crazy right there. All right. How you doing, Ken? Good to see you made it. All right. So we're just goofing around here. If you're wondering why I put this thing up, if you look at the top of the chat, YouTube put something new up. For chat for subscriber only mode. Okay, so I was just testing that out. See how that works. See if it really works. There you go. All right. It works, I think. Yeah. And I guess you have to, and I guess if you want to chat, just like on the polls, if you want to chat, you got to answer the poll first. I don't like doing that. Stepped on a nail, went through tendon, muscle, into joint on my toes. Got infected really bad, had surgery yesterday. Ow! Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you feel better and get out of there soon. Ken Amos Jr., home for a couple days, trying to relax tendons in foot and let meds work. There you go. Let them meds work. All right. All right. Daniel Banks says, I've done a couple of live streams from channels where it is subscriber only. Works well. That's good to hear. Did you set the requirement for anyone, or 5, 10, 30-minute subscribers, so they can't come on, or they'll have to just watch, subscribe, and wait? That's I think at the top I had it set at 10 minutes and then I changed it to at any time. I be a subscriber. I be chatting. There you go, Norman Rowe. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming by. All right. I'll take aggravated tendons over nail, Matt. Hope you get well soon. There you go. All right. Oh, I didn't do the, okay. You didn't do the live streams. You just watched and participated in the chat. Oh, I got it. All right. Okay. I see. Well, it, in the live streams, it should have said up there, you know, if you have to be a subscriber for 5 or 10 or 30 minutes or so like that. All right. Hi, Lynn. Okay. Oh, boy. So, that's what I'm doing. Hopefully, I'll get some time to... I'm getting my sides messed up. Hopefully, I'll get some chance this week. I don't think we have anything to do on Thursday. Tomorrow morning, I'll be able to do something because Debbie's appointment isn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon for her physical therapy. So I got tomorrow morning and Thursday. And then Friday, she goes see the wound doctor. And Friday afternoon, I'll have some time. And Saturday and Sunday. So maybe I'll get some work done finally. I'd like to get this thing cleared up and and at least get, you know, some wood up there and get a table up there so I could store some of this stuff over here on that side. See, that's what I do. You know, my layout is always a storage place when I'm trying to work on the layout. I mean, it'll be packed up with tools and supplies, loaded with tools and supplies, while I'm working on it. And I'll work on a little bit at a time and then head on back over there. But I got to move this stuff out of here and put it on this side over here. So that's why I need some table space. And like I said, I'll probably only do 18 inches on this side over here. So I need to move this stuff on this side so I could start laying some track over here and putting up some of my buildings, my building flats and stuff like that. I got a lot of flats, so I gotta put them I gotta put them back over here on this wall here. I think I got 14 foot of flats to put up there. So like kit bashing for workbenches. There you go. Over my right shoulder. Okay, this one right shoulder here. That's rockwood right there. That's rockwood, and that little gap right there is where the bridge was. And then there was the engine facility right here. And then this part right here connected to Leakin Creek. That's the lower level. And this part right here was the upper level. This went over top of Leakin Creek. Actually, Leakin Creek is laying, I don't know if you could see it very well, but it's on an angle right there. That's Leakin Creek right there. And then there's some other track. I think that's the track that I had going from Leakin Creek up high, coming back down to Schmedleyville. So that's Leakin Creek right there, and that's rockwood right there. Yeah. I have a slope floor, so I used wheels from an old mower so I can adjust wheel height. There you go. I'm just going to do it permanent, so I'm not going to put any adjustments on it. I'm just going to measure it and do it. I'll start off by measure. I'll start off by measuring on the wall, trying to get my my level coming across over here to over there on that wall, and get out the calculator and calculate how much higher I have to go for the smaller lumber so I could match the heights over there, and then bring it on all the way up here off camera, and then bring it back this way and connect over here again. And this setup right here, where I have my camera and the computers, I'm going to take it off the workbench and put it over there underneath the layout. I'm going to have it a little bit lower. I'm sitting on a stool right now, so this is up about as high as probably a kitchen table. So I'm going to have it lower. I'm going to have a desk height over here, so it gives me more room over there, and I could sit in a comfortable chair. And then I'll have enough room up above where I'll be able to put my monitors there and the camera, and still have room for the layout over top of it. So that'll work out that way, and you'll be seeing this part in my background instead of all that back there, the garage door and everything else. The half painted garage door. That's one rattle can of camouflage green, and I didn't get up that part there. That's still white primer up there, and that's still the insulation right there. I gotta paint that and paint. I'm terrible with my fingers today, and I got a black foam board right there, but you can see right over top of that is still white. That's the insulation on the garage door. I got to paint that yet too, so it doesn't look like that. Watching you pointing at things is super entertaining. You know, usually I don't have any problem pointing in the proper direction, but for some reason today it's driving me crazy. Okay, Mats, thanks. We're praying for her. Okay, thank you very much. She really appreciates it. Are you rebuilding mostly as you had the layout, or are you working the pieces into the new configuration? I'm working the pieces into the new configuration, and probably I'll be cutting off some of that, because this part right here, I'm only going to use the straight portion and maybe part of the curve. I'm not going to come all the way back around up this way. I'll probably cut it right here. Okay, Norman. Okay, right here. Right there. I'll cut it right there. Straight down. Like that. So that whole thing right there is probably that's 5 foot across, and I don't want to use up all that space. I might use the curved part someplace else, and Lincoln Creek's the same way. I'll just use the straight part of it and use the curved part someplace else and separate them. Okay, there you go, Tom. Those cheap flashlight laser levels at Harbor Freight work for shooting grade. That's a good idea. I mean, I seen an 8-foot level over there for $19. I mean, at Home Depot they had one. I think it was $70 for the same thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to take a ride down to Harbor Freight. The good thing about this place here is within 1 mile of here, I have a Home Depot. Well, I have a Walmart, I have a Home Depot, I have a Lowe's, and I have a Harbor Freight. But no Chick-fil-A and no Culver's. So I had to go see Curtis and get some cheese curds. I have to go all the way to Winter Haven, which is about 35, 40 miles from here. You're going to pull some. Yeah, I better just sit here like this from now on and just go like. But I might put a uh, kink in my neck or something like that because my shoulders are going to be hurting. Okay, I have problems with my shoulders anyways. You're gonna where was that? Off like a Western six shooter. There you go. Mystic Southern Railway. How you doing? Good to see you here. All right. Glad you can make it. All right, here we go. Electric Gaming. Sorry about last night, brother. Got my keyboard. I just came by to say that I am terribly sorry for what he did. He got in so much trouble. I feel bad for him. I just came by to say hi. Gotta go. My eyes are bad. You know that. Gotta go. Okay, thanks. No problem. I understand. Hey, Gaffa Haynes. G'day. How you doing? Glad you could stop by. I'm just playing around here. That's why it's called a special edition live stream. I just wanted to try something out. It's a subscriber only chat. It's something that I found on YouTube. I never really looked before because I don't know if it's I haven't seen it on when you schedule a live stream. But this is where you don't schedule it. You just go live. You know, you just fill in everything. And it's a little bit easier, too, because everything's right there. You don't have to jump back to studio to finish everything up. Whenever you schedule a live stream, you can only fill in half the stuff. And you have to go over to... There I am pointing again. Okay. You have to go over to studio and finish it up, put in your tags, and change everything that you want. If you want to change the thumbnail to make it better, because usually, I think I said this before, whenever you change your thumbnail in the scheduling part, it never really changed it. You have to go back and change it in studio too. There you go. You should have a hat with pointers on either side and then just move your head from side to side. Yeah, I think my neck would start hurting then too, because with the problem with my shoulder goes all the way up to my neck. So. Oh my goodness, 300 miles to Reno Harbor for me. It's not that bad for everything else like Best Buy. I got to go up to either Orlando, Kissimmee, which is just as bad. That's about an hour and a half drive, or Lakeland, which is about a little bit over an hour drive. There's nothing really close to here, except they're building 2 Wawas in the town. They got one right up the road, about a mile and a half from me, on Route 27. And there I go again. And down the other end, down that end, on the south end, about 5 miles away, they're building another Wawa. So we're going to have 2 Wawas. So we'll have our choice of which Wawa to go to get subs. Because they got some really good subs. What's a Wawa? It's like a 7-Eleven, but bigger. They got some really, really good subs. They got a very good kitchen, good coffee. I mean, when I lived in Maryland, I haven't lived in Maryland since 2004 is when I moved out of Maryland. And they had a Wawa pretty close to where I lived on the highway there. And I used to go there every morning for coffee. And they would have about 4 people manning the coffee station to make sure that there was fresh coffee for everybody. Because where I lived was a route going to D.C. I mean, even though I was 40 miles outside of D.C., there were people that lived in Delaware that worked in D.C. So they would they would commute every day and stop at that Wawa and get coffee. And they must have had about 30 cups of, or 30 pots of coffee, and then the 4 people just constantly monitoring to make sure that they're always full, and really, really good coffee. And you could order sandwiches there. 20 years ago, they had a kiosk where you could punch in and order your sandwiches. This was 20 years ago. And, you know, places now are just doing it. I could totally see Tom in a cowboy hat. Hey, I got 3 of them. I got 3 of them. Okay, so you haven't seen M&M Rail's journey to DCC, where I was Captain Arduino in my cowboy hat. Dale Robertson can't draw as fast as Tom's fingers. He needs a cowboy hat. There you go. The last house I had before the present one was walking distance from a Home Depot and Costco. It came in handy once due to actually me walking home a careful cart full of lumber. I couldn't put my... Hey, that's a good idea. I mean, it's... The Home Depot is probably only maybe a little bit over a half a mile from here, but I'd have to cross the highway if I wanted to get a cart of lumber. But I have a van, so it works out pretty good. But the only thing is, I can't put an 8-foot piece of plywood in it. They cut down on the size of the vans. I didn't get a full-size van. I got the Transit Connect, which is a smaller van. I used to have an Aerostar back in 1987, and I got that over the Chevy van because the Chevy van, you couldn't put a 4x8 sheet of plywood or drywall in it. So that's why I went with the Aerostar. I was able to put a 4x8 sheet in there, you know, take the back seat out and slide it all the way in, and it would fit in between the wheel wells. In the Chevy, whatever the Chevy was called, you couldn't do that. You would have to prop it up and tilt it a little bit to make it fit. It was a little bit narrower. But now there's cosmetic covers on there. It'll probably fit that way, but they cut off about a foot from the back seat to the back of the van. So it's about a foot shorter now, and you can't put a whole 8-foot sheet of plywood. So what I have to do is I have to cut the plywood in half and stick it vertical and go like this and prop it up over top of the armrest to get it in there. And that's how I brought all my plywood in. I cut it in half. Like some of them I cut 3 foot and 1 foot. Others I cut at 2 foots. Okay, yeah, that's my problem. 4 sheets of plywood. Also drywall. Yeah, that's the thing with the drywall. That's the main reason I had a business back then too, where I serviced industrial laundry equipment, and I needed the space for equipment, and I built cabinets and everything in there. But basically, I was redoing I just bought a new house, and I was finishing off the basement. So I used that dual purpose before I put all the shelves and stuff in there. But I made it so I put the shelves up above the wheel well, so at least I could still slide plywood or drywall in on the floor and still have about a foot, you know, to go. So that's my story, and I'm stuck with it. Yeah. But oh man, what was I talking about? Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I'm going to have to check into that level because I'll probably need that. It's inexpensive. I was thinking about going there anyway to put Debbie's desk on, because I've been shuffling that thing around ever since she got it. We got it about 5 months ago, and it's halfway sanded down, and it's behind Rockwood right there. There I go pointing again. It's back there behind. You see behind my right shoulder It's sitting back behind Rockwood. Yeah, good idea, Tom. Take the van. Don't run across the highway. We're slower than you think. Remember that bird strike. Yeah, I don't want. I don't want to be breaking anybody's windshield when they run me over. You were. You caught me. There you go. I can't. I can't. I'm gonna. I'm gonna have to tie my hands down or something so I don't point. Okay. Let me scratch my head there. Okay, can I scratch my head? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, because I was gonna get some of those. I was gonna get some of those $10 dollies, and so I could just set the Debbie's desk up on it and move it around. That'll make it easier to move it outside and sand it, and then bring it back in when overnight. Because we got the top and part of the edge of the top all sanded down. All we got to do is the drawers and the sides, and I got to refinish some of it because it's basically all plywood. It looks good. It's plywood, and it's got edging all the way around the plywood to make it look nicer. So I think we only paid $20 for it at the where was it? Lake Wells thrift store. Yeah, $10 dollies. Yeah, I want two of them. Yeah, yeah, the last time I was in there, they had $10 dollies. They're a little bit smaller than the regular furniture dollies, but hey, for $10 you can't go wrong. I mean, I'm not moving around some really big furniture. It's just that desk, and I'll probably be able to use it in here if I ever have to, move the washer or dryer or whatever. And if I want to, I could, play in a driveway, put a board on it, use it as a skateboard. There you go. Probably bust my ass and my head, but there you go. I still got the kid in me. Holster those shooters. Yeah, I got to keep them down here so I could quit pointing. I wish I wish I had a mouse that I could point with my mouse. Go. Don't do that. Yeah, I'll hook up something to my mouse so it points a light. Yeah, hey, that's a good Arduino project. I could, use the mouse pointer and point on my screen, and it will highlight somewhere back there. Okay, so I think I'm going to go. Does anybody else have any questions here or have anything else they want to discuss before I get out of here? I got to go make dinner in a little while. It's about 20 to 6 right now, almost 20 to 6. Yeah, good idea. Animated pointer. Yeah. And I got to go on in the cookbook and find the recipe for pork chops, because I haven't made pork chops in a long time. So I got to figure out how to do it with what I have here. So if you don't have any questions, or if you don't want to talk about anything else, like beard is looking good. There you go. Thank you. I think I won't cut it until, Debbie is able to walk again. So hopefully in about another month, she'll be able to walk. You're right, Norm. He can see what he's pointing at. You're getting dizzy. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the laughs. Okay, you are a good sport. Take care. Bye-bye all. Thanks for the live stream. Okay, let me put this end screen thingy on here. Hey, and how about this? Don't forget to smash that like button. If you haven't done so already. All right. All right, smash that like button if you haven't done so already. If you have done, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And now let me put this end screen on here thingy, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a wonderful week, Mets. Get better. Get out of that hospital and get home. Okay, see ya. And sing along with this guy here.
Where are you headed? Carry me back to Tennessee. Oh, I got a little girl who's been waiting.
She wants to marry me.
She'd marry me. Mr. Can we leave this seat? I'll shovel coal, Lord, to pay my fare. Gotta get this train down to the station. My little girl waiting for me. Well, the night is dark and Lord, it's cloudy. I've been traveling that lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see. Want that low train to carry me back?
Start with pork chop, throwing, pan, done. There you go. That's how I used to do it, but I wanted to do something creative. I used to do pork chops and Spanish rice, all in the pan, but I don't have any tomato sauce.
Around 7. Oh Lord, they hit Louisville about 9. And poor boy's heart started overheating, sending all of his love on down. For the night is dark and Lord is quiet. I've been traveling this lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see. Will that long old train back? Traveling on that lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see me. For that long old train, won't you carry me? Oh, train, 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 won't you carry me home?
All right. Thank you all for stopping by. We'll see you again next time. Thank you. Thank you very much.